Alright. So I'm just gonna get right into the tutorial. The wall bounce that I did is basically like just a bunch of movement mechanics in one. So what the mechanic is basically a full momentum redirect to a wall bounce, and then you strafe mid-air directionally where you want to go, right? And obviously it's full momentum. You don't lose any momentum, which is why it works just as effectively as tap strafe. You cannot mess it up. You can't mess it up. If you want it to be as tight and efficient as a tap strafe. The tap strafe, you would either bind it or W spam, right? And it was much easier to do. This you have to do a redirect and then air strafe towards the wall and then strafe back the other direction really quickly. So I'm just gonna show it once so you can see like how it looks like. And now I'll show you it from the left. So yeah, that's the flick bounce from the right side and the left side. Sorry, it's basically slide jumping, redirect until wall bounce, and you 180, right? Immediately after wall bouncing, and you strafe right mid-air, or you strafe left mid-air. Because that's what you would do before when you had top strafing, right? So you would top strafe and then wall bounce the direction that you want to go to the right or to the left. But with this, you have to do a 180 because you're doing the redirect and the wall bounce, and then keeping the momentum, because you know you're strafing midair, and momentum shifting, so you can keep all of the momentum throughout the entire bounce. So the first part is slide jump and then redirect, right? And in order to do that, how you redirect, right, is by turning in the direction that you're going to be moving opposite from. So if I'm gonna be redirecting to the left, right, I have to be looking to the right. And in the middle of the turn, you have to be pressing A or D in correspondence to where you're redirecting towards. So if you're redirecting to the left, while you're making the turn and looking in the direction opposite to where you're redirecting towards, you have to press that key. So let's say I'm redirecting to the left. I'm looking to the right. As I'm looking to the right, pressing A and S and then D in order to keep that momentum completely. So if I were to be redirecting to the right, I'd be doing B, S, and then A in order to keep that momentum, right? And complete the redirect. So how you incorporate this into the flick bounce, right? Is the first step of doing it. You have to redirect, full momentum redirect, your back, like in the direction of the wall that you're going to wall bounce off of. So if the wall's on the left, you redirect to the left, and you keep all your momentum. So it cannot be a redirect where you don't have full momentum, because then once you wall bounce, you won't be able to go as far, which you used to be able to do with top straight. Once you do the redirect mid-air, right, you have to look in the direction of the wall, obviously, in order to air strafe into it and keep max momentum. So in order to do the wall bounce, and then you click space so you can wall bounce, right, like that. You didn't do the full turn afterwards, but you have to get that part off first, doing the redirect and then air strafing towards the wall and then hitting the wall bounce. So when you're getting ready to do it on a wall that you know you're going to be turning to when you're cutting the corner, you kind of have to start it at an angle for the redirect, so you can actually look towards the wall and be interacting with it mid-air. Because if you try and do that after redirecting normally, you already don't have enough momentum. But if you redirect from an angle, you keep all the momentum and you're, see, like that. So you're keeping all your momentum and you're putting your back parallel to the wall and basically strafing into it, right? Like that. And then you wall bounce right after. Literally exactly like that. You kind of have to do it at an angle so you can keep the momentum, and then once you keep turning to the right, so like once you do that, keep turning to the right, and then you wall bounce kind of backwards. That's why I keep like ending off looking like behind me instead of being in front of me looking like this, because I did not do the turn mid-air. I'm just doing the wall bounce. In order to do the wall bounce, you have to be looking in the direction of the wall. You can't with this mechanic in order to have the momentum, you can't really wall bounce off of it without looking in the direction of the wall. Like, see, yeah, you wouldn't keep the momentum. You wouldn't, because you would go like this, right? Yeah, I'm still looking at it. I'm trying to do it without actually looking at the wall, and you won't keep the momentum. Yeah. You won't keep the momentum. You have to look at the wall like that, and then hold the strafe key while you're turning away. And the reason why you won't keep the momentum is because a redirect is something entirely different from a tap strafe. Tap strafe is you going forward, so you look forward in order to do it, or you look in the direction that you're moving it to, which is how it works, and why it was pretty easy to do, because you didn't have to like momentum shift with any other keys. All you had to do was press W and then look and strafe in the direction that you wanted to go in. With this, you have to redirect and momentum shift and then turn around to that momentum after the wall bounce. So once you get the wall bounce timing down, once you redirect at like how fast you have to wall bounce after in order to keep max momentum, right? Once you get that down, you gotta rate, you have to do the 180, right? Extremely fast in the air like that, and start strafing in the direction that you want to go. Usually when you're doing it from the left side, you would strafe to the left, because it's much easier to do that in the air, because you're already strafing left to do the 180 by pressing A, right? See? I'm pressing A to strafe mid-air. It's much easier to use to just keep going to the left anyways, because I'm already strafing that way. So technically it's easier because you're just continuously holding A once you do the 180, and you're just keeping the momentum and going to the left after doing the 180. Basically the last part of the technique where you could lose momentum. So if you want to go in the direction opposite to where you actually started doing the jump from, you have to directionally change where you're strafing mid-air right after the wall bounce, like right after, in order to keep the momentum. For example, if I'm doing it from the left and I want to end up strafing to the right mid-air after the 180, I would have to immediately after wall bouncing and 180ing start strafing to the right and pressing the D key, and vice versa. But yeah, that's it. That's the whole mechanic. You're achieving what you would be able to do if tap strafing was in the game. It's basically an alternative to max momentum tap strafe wall bouncing, right? But instead you're just substituting it with the redirect, air strafe, 180, and momentum shifting. That's pretty much it for the tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below if you have any, or you can even ask me live at my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/flick. The L is a 1, spelled F1ICK. Stream almost every single day. Everything in the game. Everything in Apex. Pubs, Pred ranked, Arenas ranked, Scrims, tourneys, everything. And don't forget to sub and click the notification bell so you can be notified when I post a new video.